on 12 News Plus. We're going to be taking a detailed look at your forecast over the next 7 days. We do have a weather impact alert for Sunday morning, but right now we're in pretty good shape. Have quite a bit of mid and high level clouds over our area. Those came in today all the way from California, and they're over our area. That helped keep temperatures down this afternoon. Instead of the 50s, we stayed in the 40s, but these clouds are going to be moving out before, say, midnight or so, and we ought to see another freeze coming up across the area tonight. Some may want to drip, not everybody. If you are susceptible, maybe up in the lakes area, maybe on piers, you may want to consider doing that, as you could get down into the mid-20s. I think we're okay in the triangle. This view courtesy of Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. And you can see these clouds. This is a response to an upper level disturbance coming out of California. We were tracking it last night. Moved all the way across the southwest and on into Texas. It's in West Texas right now. And this high level cloudiness again helped keep temperatures down as it really thickened up this mid and late afternoon across the area, and kept us down into the 40s across southeast Texas. So in your weather headlines, another freeze tonight, and it's going to be frosty, and we could see a little patchy freezing fog. We'll address that in just a second. Tomorrow will be a warmer but still chilly afternoon across southeast Texas on your Wednesday. Should get into the mid 50s rather than the upper 40s, mid to upper 40s like we saw today. Thursday will be a warm day compared to what we've seen. Could get into the lower 60s as clouds come back in. And then an Arctic cold front comes in on Friday, and that means a cold, dry weekend this weekend. No precipitation expected, just going to be cold as more Arctic air spills into the area. We're already going to go issue a weather impact alert for Sunday morning because of a potential for a long, hard freeze across our area. Then warmer weather is expected early next week. So tonight and tomorrow morning could get into the mid-20s up in the lakes area north of Silsbee, so some may want to drip. Normally I don't when we get into the upper 20s and lower 30s like we see here in the triangle. So, and I'm on a slab, but if you're on a house with piers and you're susceptible, you know your location better than I do. But mid-20s, that's kind of the threshold, as this is going to be another cold night. Now, some modeling, not a lot, so not quite confident enough to go with freezing fog. We'll say there's the potential for some patchy freezing fog. Now, we have not seen this since 2021 with the big Texas freeze up, but again, this is going to be kind of an interesting pattern tomorrow morning, see if this does materialize. We're going to be watching observations overnight. But if this does materialize, I think it's going to be light enough and patchy enough to where it's not going to produce any problems. Like what we saw in 2021, it was more widespread, and that froze to roadways and things like that. So produced a little bit of travel difficulties in 2021, but I don't think that's going to be the case coming up tomorrow morning. Very patchy and highly localized. So just kind of watch that tomorrow morning. But overall, I think we should be good. Otherwise, as we can see, another weather impact alert as we head towards Sunday morning. Very cold weather conditions are once again anticipated behind that Arctic cold front that comes in early Friday morning across southeast Texas. The front not going to produce any precipitation. It looks like a cold, dry weekend in comparison to what we just dealt with over the past weekend. So a hard freeze coming up Sunday morning, long duration. We're talking probably in excess of 12 hours. So you'll probably have to take care of the 4 Ps once again. I think we could get down to near 20 in the lakes to the low to mid 20s here in the triangle. And that's going to be Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then we turn the corner and we'll start to see warmer weather as we head towards early next week. So right now, as of today, our normal high is 64. Tomorrow we should see 56. And that is 8 degrees below normal. Thursday, our normal high goes to 65, so we're still a little bit below normal, but then that Arctic cold front comes in on Friday, and we're 12 degrees below normal on Friday. Saturday, 23 degrees below normal, and on Sunday, 16 degrees below normal. Our normal high will be 65, and we're forecasting 53 on Friday, 42 on Saturday, and 49 on Sunday before we start warming things up a bit. We're close to normal on Tuesday at 65 by next Tuesday across southeast Texas. Looks fairly dry over the next 7 days. European model, which is usually pretty wet, not showing anything through the next 7 days. That's not the case on some of the ensemble models, But for now, that's why I'm going to go with nothing through Monday, maybe a 10 to 20% coverage next Tuesday, but that's 7 days out, so we're not going to go any more than about 10% coverage, if that. So it looks like dry weather for the foreseeable future across southeast Texas. And you can see quite a bit of cloudiness over our area. Again, this is an upper level disturbance. It's not creating any precipitation, but again, this will move out overnight, and that blanket of cloud cover will allow us to, as it moves out, will allow us to see temperatures fall into the 20s most areas across southeast Texas. On the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop, already down to 36 at least at the airport at Jasper, add into the low to mid 40s currently in through the Triangle. So across the state, snowpack still up towards Abilene, Midland, and Lubbock, keeping temperatures down. Oklahoma City, snowpack there. Back over to Fort Smith, snow there. Dallas at 37 currently, mid to upper 40s in through central Texas, and 60 degrees currently into Brownsville, 55 over to Laredo, some of the warmest conditions across south, or at least South Texas at this time. So a cold night across the Lone Star State, but it is certainly warmer than we were 24 hours ago, as you can see. Quite a bit of orange, anywhere between 5 and 15 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours across the state. And we will continue to see the warm up as we head on in through the next day or so. So this upper level disturbance pulling on off towards the east. You see the back edge of the clouds to the west of Dallas, and that is moving our way. So we will see that clearing line coming up overnight. And once we yank off that blanket of cloud cover, down goes the temperature as we'll have clear skies, high pressure, light winds over our area, and that means another freeze across southeast Texas, just what you wanted to hear, right? So there's the disturbance. Yesterday, we were tracking it over Southern California, so this zipped on across the southwest U.S. and is already into Texas right now. No rain with it, but as you can see, it's producing that cloud cover on water vapor over South and East Texas, North Texas at this time, and it will quickly zip on out of the area overnight. And once those clouds move out, then the temperatures will rapidly fall into the mid to upper 20s across the area. So there goes the clouds as we head towards midnight. Should be mostly clear. And we expect low temperatures to get down into the mid 20s up in the lakes area, upper 20s, probably closer to around 32 into Port Arthur. This is just model data. But again, we'll show you our forecast in just a second. So a cold start tomorrow morning. Again, widespread frost and maybe a little freezing fog, but I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. And then tomorrow afternoon, lots of sun coming up. And that means still a chilly day, but it's going to be warmer than what we saw yesterday. I think we could get well into the mid 50s across southeast Texas coming up tomorrow afternoon with low humidity for a change. So there's the first disturbance that's over our area right now. As I showed you in through central and west Texas, that is what's causing the cloud cover over the state right now. And then off towards our northwest is the Pacific Northwest. That's what's going to bring us some cloud cover as we head towards Thursday, but we'll get a break as far as the clouds on Wednesday and see more in the way of sunshine. So again, that's the disturbance over us now. Here comes that next disturbance as we work on into, say, Thursday, bringing us that round of cloud cover. Then, as we work on into, say, Friday, clouds will come on in Thursday night. And there we go, another piece of Arctic air coming on down. It'll link up or phase up with this disturbance coming in from the Pacific Northwest. And those two will combine to bring us more cold Arctic air across the area. But the real piece of cold air is right here as we head towards Sunday morning. That will really knock temperatures down. As you can see, a nice northwest flow across much of the central plains, northern plains, coming straight out of Canada into Texas. But again, it looks like the main brunt will be off towards our east and through the southeastern U.S. So they're going to see some really cold weather, once again returning even into the deep south, back over to Mississippi, Alabama, back over to Georgia, and in through the Carolinas. Otherwise, then things start to change as we work on into Monday. We'll get more of a ridge of high pressure, and that should allow warming temperatures to start materializing as we head on into early next week. Otherwise, on the Gulf, looking at mostly smooth seas around a foot tomorrow. Look how low that water temperature is gone. That is good news there for obvious reasons here on the Gulf Coast. As you can see, mostly smooth seas tomorrow around a foot. We'll see north winds at 5 to 10 knots. Our forecast tonight, looking at mid-20s in the lakes and into the upper 20s to lower 30s across the triangle. Clearing skies, it'll be widespread heavy frost tomorrow morning. Little bit of patchy freezing fog right now. Don't think it's going to be much of an issue, but don't be surprised if you see a little bit. Otherwise, after that goes by and we warm up into the mid-50s tomorrow afternoon, lots of sun, light winds across southeast Texas, but it'll certainly feel much better than what it has been over the last several days. So taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast for Wednesday, after that freeze, mid-50s coming up Wednesday. Thursday, another light freeze possible, and we're up to 62. So that is the warmest over the next 5 days. Then here comes that Arctic cold front. It is going to be a blustery, colder day on Friday. Look at those winds gusting to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. It'll keep temperatures down into the lower 50s as we work on into Friday afternoon. So quite a bit colder coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll go with, say, the mid to upper 20s Saturday morning, only 42. It's going to be a breezy day on Saturday, certainly going to be feeling like late January. And then as we head on in to, say, Sunday morning, could get close to around 20 up in the lakes. At least this is the way it looks this far out, and into the low to mid 20s coming up in the triangle. So this is going to be a hard, long duration freeze like what we've had to deal with on Monday and Tuesday mornings across southeast Texas. And that's again why we're issuing a weather impact alert Saturday night into Sunday morning all across southeast Texas, because could be close to near 20 in the lakes to the low to mid 20s here in the triangle. And again, we'll have to be talking about people, pets, plants, and pipes, being careful heating your home and bringing in your pets, making sure you drip or turn off the water, and of course cover those plants as we head towards Sunday morning. That all moves back and we start to see a moderation in temperatures. Still a light freeze Monday morning, 60 in the afternoon on Monday, and then Tuesday, boy, it's going to feel like a heat wave at 65 coming up on Tuesday of next week. If you're just joining us, we do have another weather impact alert as we head on in to, say, Sunday morning across southeast Texas. We expect another cold night tomorrow morning. We should see widespread frost and maybe a little patchy freezing fog across the area. Mid-50s tomorrow afternoon. Another Arctic cold front comes in Friday, rain-free. And it looks like a cold, dry weekend with a weather impact alert for Sunday morning because of long duration, hard freezes coming up Sunday morning across southeast Texas. Tomorrow morning, though, mid-20s lakes, upper 20s and lower 30s in the triangle. And again, could see a little patchy freezing fog. I don't think it's going to be a big deal right now. Only one model is showing it, but can't discount that. Otherwise, again, weather impact alert for Sunday morning. Very cold weather conditions, once again, behind that Arctic front that comes in on Friday morning, and could be near 20 in the lakes, the low to mid-20s here in the triangle. So we'll be talking about the 4 Ps across southeast Texas. Not expecting any rain through the next 7 days, at least according to the European. We'll go with the ensemble mode and go with maybe a 10, possibly a 20% coverage coming up next Tuesday. Otherwise, it looks dry across the area for the foreseeable future. Quite a bit of cloudiness over our area right now because of a disturbance that's moving through as the warm-up continues. You can see that disturbance with the clouds, and we do expect that disturbance to pass us by. And as it does, we'll see those temperatures once again falling into the mid-20s in the lakes, upper 20s to lower 30s here in the triangle tomorrow morning when you get up. So big coats tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, lots of sun. We should get very lucky into the mid-50s across the area. So as we take a look at our forecast tonight, mid-20s lakes, upper 20s, lower 30s in the triangle.